And welcome to your daily love and relationships oracle. The first card that we have for you today is giving too much. It says you're depleted because you give too much. You need a balance of give and take. So I completely agree. I see a lot of people, whether if it's a marriage or if it's a committed relationship, you tend to give too much of yourself. You're doing so many things, and sometimes you feel neglected and you don't find the same kind of effort being put in by your partner. So if you're in a situation like that, it's time to, step back and take a look at how things are going in your relationship. Have a nice talk with your partner, let them know that you need to have equal contribution from both the parties. If you have kids, it's going to add to the responsibilities. If it's a long term relationship, usually people tend to fall into a routine and they kind of pick up on each other and they are able to manage. But sometimes, in new relationships, ships, you tend to give too much while the other person may not even be putting enough effort. So that's what this card is saying. So saying to take a step back and put in a little bit of effort for yourself. So that's your first card. The second card that we have for you today is fixing them. You cannot fix someone. They have to want to change. Accept them or let them go. I completely agree. I have seen people, they always tend to, initially you get into a relationship, you fall in love, you get into a relationship, and then suddenly you start finding, issues with how the person dresses or how the person eats or how much time they're spending with their friends. You suddenly start to make demands. You suddenly start to put in rules and say, you can't do this, you can't do that. Don't do that. You're not in a relationship with a child. You're not in a relationship with a teenager, unless of course you yourself are a teenager and you really are in a relationship like that. But you're an adult and the other person is also an adult. You're set in your ways, and probably the other person is also set in their ways. So before getting into a relationship, if you're not comfortable with any qualities of your partner, let them go. Just let them go. If it's not compatible, don't try to fix people. So that's what this card is saying. The third card that we have for you today is vulnerable. It says you cannot experience true intimacy unless you open your heart and be yourself. I completely agree. Just be yourself, whether you want to be vulnerable or not, whether you want to share your feelings or not. Just be yourself, even if it is boring or silly. However you may feel or however the other person wants to see you, just be yourself. Do whatever it is that you do, always be yourself, have fun. Just be what you are. If the person likes you for who you are, good. If they don't like you, then it's their loss. You just move on. So that's your reading for today. Bye bye.